I'm sorry, this is a more serious start to the podcast today. This is the first one we've recorded after the disgusting events of March 16th in Atlanta. As two white British guys, it is impossible for us to fully understand the struggle or the pain that people are feeling right now. However, we just want to say that no matter how it's portrayed in the media, this was a despicable, racist, misogynist, and cruel act that has no place in any society. We want to support Asian voices and do our best to combat the racism that is so prevalent in the world today. We stand with you, and we can't be neutral on this, because neutrality only favours the current system that is getting people killed. If we can do anything better, or we're doing something that is unacceptable, please let us know, and we'll try our best, together. And now, please enjoy the show. Hello, welcome to This Week in Japan. I'm the Gaijin John.
I'm the Geek Tom.
And together we make up Geeks and Gaijins, and we bring you all the local news and weird bugbears. That didn't rhyme worse than it usually does.
If anything, that's a success.
Success! I'm taking it. Regardless, Thomas. Well, this week, regardless, Thomas, we have emergency doggos, USJ Mario exciting goes, dairy substitutionos, payphonos, and Olympic misogyny. That one doesn't get an O's at the end because it's not fun.
I mean, I don't disagree with anything you said.
Okay.
I would like to point out that Mario Here We Goes was literally right there and you missed it somehow, but never mind.
Okay, we'll put this in context for everyone. We record this podcast when Thomas is waking up and I'm about to go to bed. So you are seeing Thomas at his sharpest and me at my bluntest.
Sharpest, he says. Sure, why not? Let's pretend that's where we're at right now, where I'm actually thinking at all.
Well, thinking of Let's Go Mario, we can jump, we can climb, etc., etc. It's kind of cute corner. Well, it's cute. You have Shigeru Miyamoto turning up. Yes, because this is USJ, Universal Studios Japan, the place where literally every teenager wants to go in Japan. Also, we're still in a pandemic, by the way. Wait, who said that? What? There's no pandemic within the balls of Ba Sing Se. So, USJ, if you didn't know, is the biggest theme park in all of Japan. It's like Disney World, except Japan has a Disney World.
Bigger than Disney.
It has Alton Towers, except with branded mascots. And one of those new ones is Mario! And essentially what is cute is just everything, and I want to go, and I want to buy the massively, massively overpriced merch.
They got us where we live, which is big, massive nerds who want nothing more than high-quality Mario merch.
I mean, one of their thing is bomb senbei, so it's just it's a bomb, but inside it there's senbei. It's rice.
Thanks, John. I wasn't sure what that was.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, wait, do I have to explain this? Sure, why not? Senbei is rice crackers. And also just t-shirts, which are also massively overpriced, and other plushies and hats, which are massively overpriced. If I get to go there, I will buy all of them. You have my word.
Well, you can go right now if you really want, John, because the park is open. So I don't see what's stopping you at this point.
Gestures vaguely.
You're right. It is a little expensive for someone on an assistant language teacher's salary. You're right, John. Sorry to force that on you.
This part has been redacted by the Japanese Board of Education.
I would love to go, and hopefully you will hear some more from me talking about it later in the year, if everything goes to plan. But yeah, it looks adorable, and I've actually wanted to go to USJ since I got here, because USJ is like, it's the big theme park, and I work with high school kids, and all the high school kids say they want to go to USJ. It's just like, it's the thing.
Field trip. Just think about it. Field trip. Everyone goes to USJ together. Everyone's happy. Nobody catches COVID. It's all a good time.
In terms of distance, it'd be about 6 to 7 hours on the train.
But the memories, John.
The memory.
This part has been redacted by the Japanese Board of Education.
Well, one of the main things you can do is do like actual safe Mario Kart because you use augmented reality goggles. Ooh. And you don't drive around the streets of Tokyo because that is bloody terrifying. Why did anyone think that was a good idea? There is a special wristband that you can get when you go in, which links to your smartphone, which basically lets you collect virtual coins by punching blocks.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of mini games as well around the place that are attached to it as well, which I think is just more punching blocks. Don't actually punch the blocks; they're solid. You'll hurt your hands. You just sort of tap them with your wrist.
Yeah. The only thing is sad is this article from the Japan Times has a quote from Hiroko Kono, who is a 19-year-old university student in Osaka, so at least 5 years younger than I am, just saying, "I've been playing Mario since I was a boy." In the early 2000s. That's in John's head. I didn't expect that I could enter the world of Mario, so I'm very excited. It's like, oh, I remember when I was a boy. We played Star Wars Battlefront 2, and we're happy with it. The first one. What? Now there's 2 of them.
It's gotten very confusing.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
But what is also cute and in Japan, which are literally the only parameters for Cute Corner, somehow I still usually mess it up. But
You know, guys, Japan, the country that's renowned for its kawaii culture, how do we struggle every week to find something that's actually cute in this country? I don't know. You'll have to ask us.
it's because I'm dead inside. But also there are dogs to help with that because there's a company making emergency natural disaster survival bags for dogs.
I mean, why doesn't this exist earlier? Should be high priority stuff. Should never let an earthquake get between you and your dog.
Yeah, well, this is kind of interesting. They look really cute, like they're there to fit on mostly small dogs, but they have them for bigger ones as well. But the bags themselves are fireproof and waterproof.
Very important.
Inside there's a pair of rubber gloves, bandages, and a muzzle, which is important for a dog in stressful situations. Because no matter how well behaved they are, if you're in, like, if it's a dangerous situation, dogs get antsy. And there's also a big 2 large pockets, which you can put food, water, and other stuff. And also you even have a little bit where you can put your dog's name and its phone number, so you can get called, hopefully. This is quite expensive for something which I think you could probably just make with duct tape. Because for small to medium-sized dogs, it's 13,000 yen. That's almost $120. And large dogs are 15,000 yen. I mean, they're cute, and they could be important for your dog, like in a natural disaster. Okay, this is the weirdest discount I've ever seen. Well, one of the weirdest. In memory of the 10th anniversary of the 2011 Tohoku earthquake, the huge one that also caused the Fukushima nuclear disaster. The pet memorial shop is actually offering 10% off. So there you go. Get them whilst memorial sales last.
That's a kick up if ever there was one. Take our discount, your pet's gonna end up here.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the bags are cute, but they're pretty expensive. But maybe that's what you need. Who am I to judge? I don't own a pet here. It's not allowed. I just have to deal with all the stray cats that live outside and give me the evils all the time.
See, that's a solution, really. We don't need just these harnesses for dogs. We need to put emergency survival kits on all the cats in Japan. And then wherever you go, when disaster strikes, there'll always be a cat like 5 meters away that can give you your emergency kit.
that's assuming the cat will allow you to get near it.
Problem solved.
Wait.
Let's not apply things like logic and rationality to this plan, John. Just think about all the cats in their cute little harnesses. They all need jobs in order to be functioning members of society. This is what they can do.
No, it's the perfect capture the flag for a post-apocalyptic Hideo Kojima game. People chasing and competing after cats because they are carrying supplies.
I think this might be the core gameplay loop of Death Stranding 2, actually, yes.
The thing is, I'd say that's rubbish, but I've played that game. Oh, dear. Well, it's time for Crime Corner and some less traditional crime now. Because, Thomas, have you heard of those bullet trains?
It's all I ever hear about, John, is the bullet trains. I just can't get enough of the bullet trains. They invade my every waking moment. So yes.
Well, did you know that up until now, they've all had payphones on them?
I did not know that. In fact, I despite my constant attention to the bullet trains, my religious devotion to them, I did not know anything about any payphones on board.
Well, this is also due to the just wonderful technical world of Japan, which is apparently that coin-operated public phones have been part of bullet trains since the first in-train payphone in 1965. These payphones on the bullet trains are older than my dad.
I think that's just a perfectly Japanese phenomenon, is that you have some of the highest speed trains on the planet, and you have these rickety old payphones inside. That just seems appropriate to me.
Yep. And even now, like, Japan have finally admitted, okay, it's only a couple of years ago we actually ended pager service. Telegrams are still a thing, and so are fax machines. But okay, now even the oldest businessman has at least a flip phone, maybe a Motorola, like if you're lucky. It is some great fun that I have seen the lovely teachers I work with, some in their 60s and 70s, hanging around with their little flip phones. It's just great joy. And I just think and go, whilst messing around on my own phone, I wonder if they ever play Snake. But yes, so maybe use these payphones while you still can, because they're set to be removed in early summer. And they will all be gone by the 30th of June. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, no, it is...
So, just to clarify why this is in Crime Corner...
It's a crime against technology. Not much is happening this week. Okay? The other thing that is just like massive social offense corner is after the snack break. Okay, Thomas?
That's true. We do need to have full bellies before we wade into that mess.
I mean, I did cut out an entire section before this the people at home aren't going to be listening to do, because it was really violent and really nasty, and I thought, maybe not this week. Maybe not. Please note, listeners, this is the first time that Thomas has heard that I'm going to be cutting that section. All his jokes are now gone. All of them.
Ah, well. You'll never get to hear me be actually funny. Poor you.
That one time, and it was to do with some extremely violent crime.
Let them believe it, John. This is all I have going for me.
Well, one thing I can believe is the joys of Japanese Starbucks. It's time for snack break.
We are really gunning for that sponsorship, aren't we, John?
I understand what all the things are in the restaurant. It's not like... I know what I can order, and it has free Wi-Fi. and it's not McDonald's.
There is that. At least it's not McDonald's this week.
Where's the point?
John.
Where's the point of I just like I also regularly go to a local vegan restaurant that's Japanese vegan food. I don't talk about that because one, I don't know what any of it is, and it's all delicious. I just get the recommended set every time. The lady is very nice. She explains it all to me. It goes in one ear and out the other.
Just smile and nod and pay for the food. It's all
Exactly. It's really delicious. As well as this week's snack break, which was, surprisingly, also vegan, because Japan's first ever almond milk whipped cream frappuccino is here.
Yay.
It's a vegan frappuccino made with almond milk and banana. It's
good for them.
It's really, really nice. I had it. It tasted banana. And the cream itself, the whipped cream on top, is the part that is now vegan. That whipped cream is made of almond milk. So this is the banana and almond milk, which is its official name. It's really nice. It's like really crunchy, and the whipped cream actually tastes of a nice nutty whip. That's the worst thing with almond milk. I don't tend to like almond milk in like a hot drink, mostly because it's too thin for me. But it works really well, like mixed with the sweetness of the banana, and you've got like the little chips of banana as well to give it texture. It's just really, really nice. You've also got like banana puree at the bottom. Is good. It's really, really good, and I want more. The main thing that I'm more excited about for this is also with it is a honey and oat milk latte. And this means that for the first time since I've been to Japan, I can finally find oat milk. And this sounds really dumb to everyone at home, but boo you, I miss oat milk. It's really, it's really good. It's really, really good. Like Japan is doing more like to do with alternate milks. Like it's on the almond milk, soya milk version. We've done episodes before where we talked about like the many variations of soya milk, and almond milk is just kind of getting in there. But it's just but oat milk is nowhere to be seen. Well, mostly oats are nowhere to be seen. Having to try and explain what oats are to Japanese people is a very strange experience. Well, it's because Japanese only has one word for, like, wheat and barley and all those kind of things. It's just mugi. And it just changes depending on the context. And so when you bring something from abroad, when you're like, well, what is it? It's mugi. Well, this is also mugi, and it looks nothing like this. And it's like, yeah, but you can't make porridge with barley, you weirdos. Well, you can. There's going to be some very angry Eastern Europeans coming at me, but still. But yeah, I'm excited to go back and try the oat milk honey latte because I love oat milk so much. And if you are in Japan, I recommend you go and drink some. The almond milk frappuccino was nice too. Rrr. Pictures are on the Instagram at the Gaijin John when I remember to upload them.
John is rebooting.
Okay, that's that section.
Oh dear, I'm surrounded by robots. Ugh.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know who's certainly not a robot, Thomas.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a robot. I honestly can't tell anymore. Maybe this entire podcast is run by robots. I would have no way of knowing.
Well, I'd go with the person who just got fired from the Olympics. No, it is current week.
More Olympics.
Yay! It's
as always more Olympics. We haven't even got to the Olympics yet. Why is this so hard?
Well, first of all, Thomas, you're not allowed to come. Officially.
I know. Officially, they finally decided that people are not from outside the country are not coming to the Olympics.
That are still totally happening. That is still totally happening. Sorry.
I mean, on the one hand, thank God they finally pulled the trigger on that. But on the other hand, why has it taken this long? There's no reason that it should have taken this long for them to realise that there was no conceivable way that they were going to be able to bring other people from outside the country in. Especially considering they've been very anti bringing people from outside the country into the country for pretty much the entire pandemic.
And so now organisers say that the move gives clarity to ticket holders and helps ensure a safe and secure games. So basically, hopefully you can get a refund, guys. Woo!
I mean, you might get a refund for the cost of the ticket. You might not get a refund for the fee the ticket sellers charged on top, because that's up to them, and that's unlikely. And also, you will not get any refunds for any hotels you booked or anything directly, because apparently that's not part of the Olympics. So they don't have to worry about refunding you for that. So good luck for anyone who decided to book a holiday for the Olympics this year. Because
Also, you are very optimistic. Just saying.
I hope you have quite a bit of money as well. Otherwise, you just got screwed over.
But what I'm also saying is, depending on what Japan's going to do, they might just resell these tickets. I'm wondering now. Okay, I'm gonna throw it out there. I've not been vaccinated yet, but I will cover myself in I will cover myself in anti-COVID regulations, and I will go there for whichever international organization is willing to sponsor me. It's you can't get someone in the country. John is here.
Reporting live on the scene, as always.
Yeah, exactly. There's gotta be some smaller organizations just gonna be, we're not gonna be able to get someone in there. Boom. Excuse me. Hello.
I need a man on the inside.
The one international. I'm just there, just one blonde guy in a sea of people. Hello! We're here at the Olympics. I should not be this close to this many people. This was not a good idea. I didn't... This was not worth being on Russia Today. Yes, but so international fans won't be able to come. How this will affect telly coverage, no one knows, because no one knows anything.
Honestly, the longer this goes on and the more news stories come out about this, the more the Olympics just looks like a massive grift. This is becoming an increasingly elaborate scam at this point. There's nothing else going on.
Well, what is going on is that the creative chief of the Tokyo Olympics has just resigned.
Oh, good! That sounds reassuring. What the hell happened this time, John?
So this was, no.
Don't try.
No, I'm not going to try because he certainly didn't. This is Hiroshi Sasaki, and he has just resigned. This was international news because he said in a meeting that they could get Naomi Watanabe, who is a very popular Japanese comedian, who is also renowned for being very, let's say, body positive.
That's the most English expression you could possibly have used in that.
I'd
say she's body positive.
I will say I'm taking that directly from the BBC article. Miss Watanabe, 33, is one of Japan's most famous comedians and is known for her celebrity impersonations and body positivity advocacy work.
So I was right on the money. You lifted it right from the BBC. I know what I'm talking about.
Yes, so she's been famous for spearheading a movement called Pocha Kawaii, which means chubby and cute. Yeah. And to be honest, Japan just needs... The thing is, plus size in Japan this is not American plus size, people. This is not even UK plus size. So calm the F down. Like,
Oh, dear.
well, what Mr. Hiroshi Sasaki said is, what if we got Naomi Watanabe? What if we make her wear pig ears, and then we fly her down from, like, on a rappel, on, like, a rappel, down from the sky, because a limb pig. Olympic.
Yeah. I see that he's going for play on words.
Olympic.
But
You're not laughing. Thomas, you're not laughing. I thought you should be laughing. It's genius.
you're right. It's genius. It covers all the bases of the Olympics, which is the Olympics and livestock, I think.
And sexism.
Is that right? Oh, and of course, fat phobia, which is what the Olympics is all about. Obviously, that's why there's no fat people there. Now it all makes sense. Now I understand. This man's a genius. I can't believe he's decided to leave. What are we going to do without him?
Well, he was the one in charge of both the opening and the closing ceremony.
Not anymore, hopefully.
Yes, well, notably, this idea, it was a theory, apparently, and it never got out of the planning stages and bar-de-bar-de-bar. Though, so, Mr. Hiroshi did end up saying the remarks were a huge insult, and...
What a stupid thing to say, especially considering that we are like 2-3 weeks out from Mori, right?
Like, maybe that.
Didn't even let time for the iron to cool there. Just went straight back in there with more of this bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So apparently this is going to be addressed further. Who knew? Yeah. So Naomi Watanabe did end up responding. Slightly more, sorry, that the BBC did not choose to cover, is that Sasaki said that he thought she would look charming as an Olympic, dressed in a pink outfit with her tongue poking out.
My dude, just keep that to yourself. I think something slipped out there that really should have been kept private.
Yeah, so essentially, Naomi Watanabe responded saying she was quite surprised because they asked her to take part in the opening ceremony, and because of postponement, like, she's informed the offer was rescinded, and she'd not been informed anything more about it. And she's basically learning about this with everyone else.
So she wasn't really even involved in the planning process. Just a random guy decided, you know what, I want this minor celebrity to dress up as a pig for me.
Not a random guy. The guy in charge of the opening ceremony.
Yeah. The guy in charge of the opening ceremony was like, you know what this ceremony needs? For me to humiliate this one particular comedian for no reason.
Yeah. So also, by the way, America, you now have Naomi Watanabe. She's just relocated to the US, and
hey, lucky you.
She is really great. And I'll read out like the last bits of her post from Instagram. As Naomi Watanabe, a person in the public eye, it is true that there are times when people have told me my physique is large, and I've been working with the understanding that there will be times when I'll be taunted for it. In reality, I am very happy with my figure. Therefore, I want to continue to express myself not only as someone who is large, but as Naomi Watanabe. However, as one human being, I truly hope from the bottom of my heart that the world can become a joyous place where each person's individuality and ideas are respected and accepted by all. I also have a lot to learn myself, but with the help and guidance of those around me, I'll continue to dedicate myself to creating entertainment that everyone can enjoy. Ah, that's so nice and wholesome. I was not expecting it during this episode. Yeah, of course, Japanese Twitter having a great response, including, her comments are much more mature and adult-like than his were. Because yes, this is Japan, where 33-year-old comedians have to be the bastion of moral fortitude and not the people in charge of the country.
I mean, it just speaks to the culture, where obviously it's more important to the 33-year-old female to make sure that she maintains a air of professionalism so that she's not dismissed for being rude or emotional, that the old dude in a position of power doesn't even think twice about it because he's probably never had to deal with any amount of accountability before. So, of course he's going to make stupid jokes.
That's the thing. It wasn't a joke. This is something he was, like... This was actively in the planning stage. It might not have gone through for that, but this is, like, business meeting stuff. This is not, like, a personal, like, jokey section. Oh, dear. Oh, and another quick comment from Naomi Watanabe herself. I would have definitely rejected it. It's simply not interesting, and I don't understand the point of it at all. It's like...
I mean, she speaks the truth. It wasn't even a good idea. I mean, it was inherently a bad idea, but there was actually nothing of substance to it in the first place. Nothing of value was lost.
And on a happy note, good things are happening in Japan for the LGBT community. Woo! Woo! Finally. No, happy thoughts, happy.
It's only been, oh my god, that long? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so this is in Sapporo, Hokkaido. Well, this is a local Japanese court. First time on Wednesday, this being last Wednesday, that the government's failure to recognise same-sex marriage is unconstitutional as it violates the right to equality in a historic verdict. Yay. Also, for all those people who might comment saying, well, the law actually says this. If you read the Japanese, if you can actually read the Japanese and explain that to the Japanese people whose entire job is to study the law, I will go with them. if that's okay.
The court says it, and I think that's the end of that, really.
Yeah, well, it's not the end of that, but this is a win. This means that hopefully something that has stalled quite a lot in the Japanese system, that LGBT rights can keep on going towards marriage equality. This wasn't all good. Notably, this was ruling on a suit from 3 same-sex couples in Hokkaido, who are asking for about
1 million
yen, which the thing is that sounds huge. It was $9,000. That's about $9,000, and they were asking for it for psychological damages caused by the government's negligence in not amending the law to allow them to marry. Which, when it comes to Japan and marriage is a very important legal statement and basically how you are able to do things. So not being able to physically marry your partner would cause huge amounts of rubbish, because Japan is still not really okay with that. Because yeah, but yay, it's been properly taken seriously. Woo!
No, yeah, congratulations to all the LGBT activists who have probably been working hard over the last few decades to further the cause of LGBT rights in Japan. And it's really good to see all their hard work paying off, even in this small amount. And I look forward to more victories for them in the future.
And I will, even though the government are still very anti this as a whole, and they're going back and going, oh, well, the Justice Department will go and look at the facts and adjust our laws and things. The thing is, as someone who works with, the perspective in Japan is really changing. And Japan does have this reputation of being a big, like for a big, very like anti-LGBT rights, etc. Country, and in legal sense, it certainly is. But as someone who works with those with like 16, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, and in the education system, I have been so encouraged by the amount of like acceptance and programs that there are in the high school system in Japan, and that are being motivated by the students themselves. It's just amazing. There were students in the English speaking competitions doing speeches on LGBT rights. There were parts of social issues clubs who were doing bits on LGBT rights. And I am in one of the most rural parts of Japan. I'm in a big city in one of the most rural parts of Japan. But this is not central Tokyo. This is not like, ooh, trendy left-wing sections. My school is surrounded on 3 sides by rice fields and the other side a mountain. And we have nice posters up in the halls explaining what the different parts of LGBT stand for. Just like, yeah, it's nice. It makes me happy. It really does, because it's just like the personality of Japanese culture will change, and I really think that there's going to be a much brighter future for LGBT people in Japan. I really do, because I get warm seeing things like this, and whenever I see the kids in school talking about it as well. It's a good thing. It's really, really nice. And this is also supported by the facts, which showed that about 78% of Japanese people were likely to approve of same-sex marriage.
So yeah, it's basically just the executive branch that's left to convince at this point, and they're all getting old, so yeah. They're gonna go eventually.
Very old, until they can be released from their cold, cold, cold hands. So cold. So very cold. Watch me have to edit that out after, like, Suga dies in between us, like, recording this and, like, posted the podcast.
Our release schedule is because every single time, by the time we get to Thursday, something has changed, or there's something we need to follow up on. Just like, God damn it, Japan. Why can't you only have news stories between the days of Thursday and Sunday? God damn it.
Just a small bit. We do have a recording schedule. These are generally recorded on Monday, and then it takes at least 1 or 2 days for me to edit them because this comedy doesn't come naturally. And then Thomas also has to make the art, and we have to do all the descriptions and the sourcing for stuff. So basically by Thursday, it's nice and things. Like, we could do it really fast, but also both me and Thomas have full-time jobs as well. So that's just a little peek behind the curtain. But now I'll draw it back and say, well, if you want to listen to more, you can find us on everywhere you can find podcasts. You can also find us on Facebook and on Twitter at Geeks&Gaijins or GG-Gaijins. I'm also on the Instagram at The Gaijin John, and we're also on YouTube at Geeks&Gaijins. And if you have any problems with us, or you would like to just send us a message and be nice, we are at geeksandgaijins at gmail.com. And also, we're on Twitch, and we might eventually come back to that when Thomas's computer is not metaphorically and literally in the shitter.
That would explain the problems I'm having with it. I forgot I dropped it in the toilet last week. That will do it. We'll have to look into that. Thank you all for listening. Be gay, do crimes, and...
This part has been redacted by the Japanese Board of Education.
Who will see you next week in Japan.